Hello all my Kenvians, Papa Ken here, and I just wanted to bring you this video. I'd like to say it's going to be a quick little video, but I honestly don't know. I wanted to let you all know how things are standing right now and give you an idea of what to expect from PapaKennMedia in 2016 and moving forward. As some of you may know, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I mentioned that I'm wanting to make PapaKennMedia, a business, and just make a lot of changes going forward. Nothing that will negatively impact the channel or anything PapaKennMedia related, I don't believe. But just to give you all an idea and just to be, as transparent as possible. And I'm not going to say all of the information here just because some of it is still in sort of a rough draft version. There's still things that I need to learn and get more information on. But just to give you all a high-level idea of what's going on. Now, as I said already, the prime idea, or the main idea for 2016 is to make PapaKennMedia a business. As it is right now, I'm sort of still going back and forth between making it either a sole proprietorship or an LLC. Most likely I will be making it an LLC. That might not mean anything to most of you, but for some of you that may be pretty significant. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, also, let's see, just to give you all sort of an idea of some of the things I'm wanting to do going forward. And I'll be referencing my outline here, so I apologize if there's a few seconds of me mumbling. Now, a few of the main things that I still need to figure out is basically figuring out how PapaKennMedia will have an income, because that is, one of the things that has to do with it being a business is that, there might be some money coming in. And that's not something I expect there to be a lot of, especially in the very beginning or even early on. I will be making different decisions, different plans to do so. Some of those ideas involve Kickstarter projects, Patreon, a few other things as well, which I'll go into a little bit more detail here coming up. And a lot of this will go into different areas, such as with it being a business, I will need to make sure, and especially with a lot of my a lot of things I work on being on YouTube, I want to make sure that I can find a lawyer that has experience in copyright law, because obviously that's going to be a significant portion, especially when it comes to reviewing different video games, reviewing different movies, using any any footage from those, because as any of you know that have put videos up on YouTube, copyright claims can be pretty significant, pretty frequent, and I just want to make sure that I have someone in my corner that can stand up for that. And also there will be things such as, small business insurance in case, so that kind of goes along with having a lawyer. Let's see, some other things as well. Oh, well, one thing that I also mentioned in a previous video that some of you, well, I'm sure some of you, if not most of you, have already seen, is that there is a new website for PapaKennMedia being worked on. It is it is getting near to its final stages. It's going to be a work in progress over the next year for sure, but some of the main areas are definitely being solidified. And it's going to be PapaKennMedia.com, just like the old website. And just to remind you, in case you didn't see the previous video, the original website has unfortunately been completely lost. All of the data, all of the articles, gone forever. I might be able to access some of them through archives of some sort, but unfortunately, that's not entirely reliable. So, yeah, it's going to be basically entirely new information, except for those I'm able to dig up over time. I will be bringing on different contributors to, well, contribute different sorts of articles. Some of them will be in videos, some of them will be in just written articles. I want that group to be a diverse group as well. It's I know people may not like this being brought up a lot, but I want to make sure that there are people in the contributors, especially as it grows. I mean, initially it might be, not so diverse because there might just be a few of us, but as it grows, I would like to have people of different races join on as contributors. I would like to have people of different gender identities. Obviously, there will be men and women contributing both because I want it to be a diverse place. I want it to be a place where not a large group of people, but several people will be able to voice their minds, and that they will all be coming from different walks of life. Some more similar than others, but at the same time, I want it to be a diverse, progressive place for people to go and find information, reviews, opinions, etc. for, again, video games, for movies, for TV shows, and beyond. It's going to go way beyond that. In fact, one of the areas of the website that will be slow growing at first, but I would like for it to expand as time goes on, is that there will be a mental health blog that I'll hopefully I myself will contribute to, and several others as well over time, because I feel like that's a very important area of the world right now. Because there is still a stigma for different aspects of mental health, and that people are afraid of therapy or psychology and things of that nature because they find it to be ridiculous. But I'm definitely not one of those people, and I want that to be a resource for different people, or eventually to be a resource for many different people. So there you go. That's one of the big overarching ideas of the website. And I do have several people confirmed to be contributors, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. There's some that I'm still looking into, need to confirm, but there's going to be, already it looks like there's going to be a nice diverse array of people contributing to the website, which is just amazing. And let's see here. Well, this kind of touches on the financial aspect of the company, but not entirely. There are going to be, or I'm going to look into there potentially being sponsors for PapaKennMedia. I'm not going to say who they are, or who it is that I'm thinking about specifically, but I mean, there's a few on here. I'm going to contact them over time. Maybe not immediately at the beginning of the year, but as time goes on and as the website and PapaKennMedia in general becomes more established, a stronger label, whether it has become a legitimate business at that point or not. So, just so you have that in mind. Well, as for the categories on the website go, and this is going to be sort of spread as... To a degree, it will be on the channel as well, but mainly on the website, because again, not all of the articles and videos going up on the website will be from me. It will be from different people. First of all, there's going to be a reviews category, and that's going to cover movies, television, video games, music, comics, and also food and restaurants. That might seem like a weird one considering the other categories, but it is one that I want to include. I will be touching on food and restaurants that I personally experience around the area and places I travel. And then with the diverse contributors, hopefully that will be coming in, people around the world, they might be able to, give you ideas for places to go and eat, in different areas of the world, to give you their opinion of the cuisine you might be experiencing at those places. So, yeah, again, it's going to be very diverse. It's going to be an eclectic website, but it's one that I really look forward to. But even beyond just the reviews, there are going to be blogs as well. They'll sort of be encapsulated into one master blog in a sense, but all of these are going to be separate blogs that are contributed to by different people, again, including myself. And these blogs will include pop culture, politics, mental health, as I mentioned earlier, travel, opinions, tutorials, which is an idea that I am hoping to build on, like tutorials for working with different software. If anyone is interested in using the editing software that I use, I would like to create tutorials that help out beginners. And same thing for people that use other editing software. Hopefully other contributors can do that and, you know, contribute their own tutorials for people to reference. I think that would be a nice resource for some people to handle, especially if they're getting a start on YouTube. Advice, which I don't know, that one's pretty low on the list. I don't know when it might come up, and it could probably even just sort of blend into some of these other blogs. And reactions, because as some of you, or a lot of you know, because a lot of you have joined because of my reaction videos, but I'm going to have a blog dedicated to reactions, and ideally I'm going to feature a different reactor, and there'll be recurring reactors, but every week possibly, or at least every 2 weeks, I'm going to feature a reactor and their latest video so that you can go and check them out if you haven't seen them before. Or if you do know them and you might have missed the video, you could see it there. Oh, hey, this is a featured one. I should go check that out, watch their reaction. Again, just ideas here for the website. There will also be a gaming category that will include Let's Plays, streams, as well as news and trailers, which I'm bundling into one because a lot of it will probably be new trailers that come out and possibly are my and others' thoughts on those trailers, sort of along those lines. And then there will be other pages as well that will direct to, well, an About Us page that will include the basic idea, the main idea, the mission, basically, of PapaKennMedia as a whole, information about myself and other contributors as they might present it, and, you know, just general other things having to do with websites that you often see on them, but is quite necessary. Let's see here. Well, one thing I want to touch on is that initially the website, graphics-wise, will be okay. I have found some images and some that I've edited together to be temporary banners for the different pages, but at some point I do want to hire someone to create custom banners that can be used on these pages, so that just to give it that personal touch, that personal flair. That won't happen at first, but as the budget is available, I would like for that to happen. So if you know anyone that might want to do that, please do feel free to let me know. Moving on from there, some information about the channel. Now, for anyone that has been recently new to the channel, a recently new subscriber, you might see that I usually put the latest video as the trailer for the PapaKennMedia channel. Well, sometime soon, ideally early in 2016, that's going to change. I'm going to create an actual trailer. It will be a minute or less, a quick introduction to the channel, and then I will find 4 to 6 of my favorite videos that I've put up so far, or even just favorite videos and series, and I will link to them in different annotations, and also down in the description, but obviously the annotations would be the ideal area for those to pop up. And also, just so you know, I'm still working on making a schedule, a real definitive schedule for the channel. Excuse me. And it has jumped around quite a bit. It is still a work in progress, but I will let you know what I have written down here right now. One of which will be Discovering Doctor Who, which will be a weekly thing, and that will expand into the classic Doctor Who era, Sarah Jane Adventures when I get to that, Torchwood when I get to that. So anything that's really Doctor Who related, that will be a weekly series, which I'll have plenty of time for once the current series is finished up with the upcoming Christmas special. And also, just discovering in general, discovering other shows, like currently discovering Steven Universe. That will also be a weekly series. So ideally, under ideal conditions, that means there will be 2 different discovering series going up each week. Possibly more. Again, I don't know for sure. It will depend on how things work out and how I work out the schedule. But that's how I have it idealized right now. And then Snackin', which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a series where I try out different foods and review them, in a sense. And that will be a bi-weekly series. So basically every 2 weeks, ideally, covering different foods, different snacks, things of that nature. Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff I haven't tried yet, and I want to give, even for the stuff that tastes good, for the stuff that doesn't taste good, I also want to put out the nutrition facts out there for anyone that might not know, or they might be thinking, oh my god, I wouldn't really want to try this, it looks amazing. However, it's incredibly unhealthy for you. I want to give you an idea of what it might taste like, and also whether it's worth trying. Which, in a lot of cases, especially for big indulgent things like, gigantic ice creams, you don't really care. But again, that's the purpose of that series. Again, a bi-weekly one every 2 weeks. And also, there's going to be a Papa Kenn plays on schedule, and since those require minimal editing, I would like for there to be, again, just to work with the rest of the schedule, a maximum of 3 videos per week. It could be as few as 1. If that's the case, I might make the videos a little bit longer. But yeah, for the sake of Papa Kenn Plays, because I do love video games, and that's going to be a big part of the website as it becomes a thing, I want it to be anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week. I apologize for background noise. That's my cat. Actually, that's Midna. But really? Anyway. And then finally, as far as primary shows for the channel go, I'm wanting to create a new series called Online Personalities, where I'm going to be presenting new online personalities that I've discovered, or even some of my favorites that I've known for quite a while, and review them in a sense, which I think will be a nice way of sort of establishing who I'm a fan of, who I'm a new fan of, new areas that, or new creators that I have recently discovered, and whether or not I enjoy what they do, but at the same time, even if I don't, I will be presenting their information to you so you can go and check them out and make your own decision. And that's going to be a monthly series because, like, that kind of thing, especially with the rest of the primary shows that I would like to have scheduled here, that would be a difficult one to work in all the time because I would need to do research on the different online personalities. And again, this is going to be not just like YouTube creators. This could be webcomic creators. This could be authors of short stories online, things of that nature. So, yeah, that's again, that's one thing that I definitely want to add to my primary shows for the channel. Now, moving on to some of the secondary shows, and these would be just occasional. I don't have a set schedule for these, but they'll be ones that will pop up as possible, or as they're created, essentially. First of which will be movie reviews. Second of which will be one that I've been wanting to put out for a long time, but haven't quite yet, and that is Late to the Video Game. And essentially that is going to be a form of video game review, but specialized in the sense that the game has been out for a while, and it has either received very positive or very negative reception, and I give it a chance, see what I think, because these will be games that I haven't played before, and give my personal opinion. And there will be different levels to it. I won't go into too much detail. That's still a work in progress, because primarily because of how long it has taken to try and get around to that. But that is one thing to look forward to. Another secondary show that will have on the channel, reactions. As some of you all, well, a lot of you all know, again, I have done reaction videos for different shows, primarily Doctor Who so far. Those will not be a permanent staple of the channel by any chance. It's not going to be something I do every week. There are channels out there that do reactions regularly, weekly, sometimes daily, and I will link to some of those in the videos themselves. But that for the PapaKennMedia channel, that will continue to be just an occasional kind of video that comes up. And then finally, as far as the occasional ones go, I forget. The treadmill entertainment reviews, which is what I have it written down as here. But you might have seen the first video I put out, which I'm calling Tread Material, and I like that name, so I'm going to stick that with that. But essentially, the idea with those videos will be that I will watch a movie while walking on the treadmill, and then afterward I will give my review of the movie and whether or not I think it's a good movie to watch while you're exercising. Because for me, there was a gym that I used to go to that they had a separate room that had basically all cardio equipment, either ellipticals or treadmills, step machines, bikes, and you would basically watch a movie, whatever movie they were playing that day, while you were exercising, and it really took your mind off of what you were doing at the time. So that's one thing that I'm sort of wanting to promote with these tread material reviews, which that kind of goes along with the movie reviews, but again, I mean, both of them are in the occasional area. So there you go. Moving on from there, some specials that I have in mind that they aren't very fully, they aren't really developed at this point, but they are ideas for the channel moving forward. One of which will be making some short films that will lead to likely some collaborations with different YouTubers or even non-YouTubers. A series that I am tentatively calling Spreading Positivity, which, I mean, the name kind of says it. Says what that is itself. And then third is a series I'm calling Balance, and it's basically, the idea behind that will be presenting what balance is to myself, what balance is to other people, what brings them balance. I mean, it might sound a bit new agey, but I really think it's something that, especially in terms of mental health and even spreading positivity, could be really beneficial for a lot of people. Yeah, that's Midna back there. She was the one making noise earlier. Alright, now moving on from there. Well, one thing to keep in mind before I move forward beyond the YouTube channel, I have been contacted by a few YouTube networks as far as potentially joining on and becoming a partner. There was one that I was strongly considering. It was from a broadband TV network, and I ended up declining to apply just because right now I want PapaKennMedia to be an independent venture, and even though it still basically would be if I was a partner of a network, something to me just feels off about doing that at this stage of PapaKennMedia's lifespan. Maybe someday in the future, if any of you are members of some of the online networks, please do tell me what some of your positives and negatives might be, because I'm really interested. I've seen online reviews of different places. Most of what you're going to see on those review sites are negative, because most of the time negative feedback is what you're going to get with any kind of feedback. So there's that. So yeah, the status of becoming part of a YouTube network is negative at this time, but could potentially happen in the future. Again, we'll see about that. Now, as far as other things to look forward to in the future, I'm going to be making a Twitch channel, and this will go along with the video games PapaKenn plays, and well, a certain aspect of the website, which was live streams. Now, a few of my friends and one or two of the contributors, or potential contributors, already do live streams, but I've already created a channel for PapaKennMedia on Twitch. That's going to be something that evolves over time. I'm going to be trying to get together the proper equipment to really make that work, but it is definitely something that I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to give too much information on that, but basically it's something that, especially if you are a fan of Let's Plays, a fan of live streams in general, you might enjoy that going forward. Again, especially if you're a gamer. Moving on from there, to touch lightly on the possibilities of crowdfunding. Now again, this is something I touched on earlier as far as possible income for PapaKennMedia. one of which will be Patreon. I'll touch on that in a second. But the first of which is looking at potentially either Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Now, Kickstarter is obviously the bigger of the two, but it also has more limitations that might restrict me either being able to or really considering starting a Kickstarter on that. So the more likely candidate for now is Indiegogo, which I'll link to those down in the description so you can get an idea if you're not really sure about those. GoFundMe is another crowdfunding website that I looked at, but that's more for individual deals and I think a little bit of nonprofit raising, which I don't know, just from what I saw, it seems like it would be less inclined toward what I would be trying to accomplish for PapaKennMedia. But that could change in the future. Again, I'm still doing research on this. But just to give you an idea of why I'm considering this in general, especially with the Indiegogo, is a few things. One, I want it to be a way for people to potentially help me, if they want to, in really establishing PapaKennMedia as a legitimate business and giving me, or helping me get the utilities to do so. Now, some of these utilities include a more powerful computer, and that's going to be for a number of different reasons. One, more computer power I have, the faster and more effective I can be at editing videos. But beyond just that, it will also allow me to play more games that could be reviewed for the website, for the channel, especially on Steam. That's like, I can play quite a few games on my system, but as far as playing and recording them at the same time, not so much. There are certain games that I'm able to play without much quality loss, but having a recorder running at the same time definitely does sort of eat up the it eats up the resources of the computer. So the primary idea, really, it's like, in addition to helping out with the business fees of getting PapaKennMedia established, will be to help me get a more powerful computer, or at least help me afford a more powerful computer. And I actually have 3 stages of this. The first of which is a sub $1,000 build. And that will be the primary, just like, initial goal of the Kickstarter or crowdfunding goal. If amazingly somehow it goes beyond that goal, there will be stretch goals where I will try and expand that to 1 to 2 additional levels of a build, just to help me get the computer in a more powerful stance that will make it a beast when it comes to being able to edit videos, play games, and other high demand, high resource sapping programs. So yes, that's the primary deal. It could also I'm still working out the financial goals as far as this goes, but it could also help out in helping me obtain an additional camera, or at least even a more powerful camera, with this one being the backup, because having a backup can be pretty necessary, especially if I'm going to be doing a lot of filming, even outside where things can fall and get broken, as has happened before. Getting an external mic, getting better lighting, getting a backdrop, which will definitely be beneficial for doing live streams. I know a lot of live streamers on Twitch have a green screen behind them so that they just kind of blend into what's happening. But it would also be used for different things as well. In addition, getting a microphone stand and suspension bar. Some sound isolation, which would really help with me being able to record when other things are going on in the house, like my wife watching TV on the other side of the wall here. That can come through pretty loudly, to say the least. And also getting more powerful software potentially for recording. I mean, as it is, I really like PowerDirector, the program that I use, but I might want to upgrade to a different program. Or if I end up getting a Mac computer someday in the future, want to make sure that I have a good, effective program for that as well. There are different areas that that could go into But yeah, so those are some of the primary things, and I am sorry if the idea of me doing a crowdfunding project offends you or bothers you, but it's really something that I feel will be necessary if I want to try and move forward with PapaKennMedia as a business really seriously in the near future. It's something I can save up for myself, but any help I can get is greatly beneficial. But and also, just so you know, I am thinking of ideas for different donation tiers as far as that goes. And there's only so much I can really think of to offer at this point, but I will do my best to come up with some good rewards for anyone that is generous enough to donate to the crowdfunding campaign when it actually happens. So, and I don't have a specific time for when that's going to happen yet, but it will be early in 2016. Now, moving on from there to touch on Patreon a little bit. Now, I already do have a Patreon page set up. However, I wish I could set it to offline, but I can't really. But I have been editing and changing some of the information in the background, some of which is actually visible in the foreground now, but you know, can't really do much about that. But I'm working on revamping it. There will be a trailer there as opposed to just the picture that is currently there. One of the things that I do want to point out is that, yes, there will be tiers, again, like the crowdfunding campaign with Indiegogo potentially. There will be different tiers, and I want to make sure those tiers are something that will help make people want to donate to the channel, donate to PapaKennMedia in general. And again, the donations through Patreon would be monthly, so it would be a once-a-month deal. Again, I can provide links to it down below so you can read up on that, get some more information. This is something I touched on in the past, but again, especially moving forward, wanting this to be a business, it's something that I'm strongly considering and hope that, you know, fans might as well. The ones that can afford it, obviously. I don't want people with no money trying to, you know, donate when they can't, because that's not what I want to do with PapaKennMedia at all. I'm wanting to do this for the fans, but I also want to, you know, anyone that might be willing or able to help out would be greatly, greatly appreciated. But, again, it's like, as I mentioned, there will be tiers. I do have some milestones lined out here as far as potential goals for us to reach, as far as PapaKennMedia as a business entity, and also the contributors as patrons, Patreons. And just to give you an idea of what those are, I have a milestone for a certain amount that will cover my web hosting, which will be the website for PapaKennMedia. A certain milestone which will cover the web hosting and cover the streaming services like Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, of course, and potentially a few others as well. Covering the internet service provider, which is, you know, it's definitely a significant portion of what allows me to do what I do as a hobby just right now. And it goes on until the highest milestone that I have marked down right now is potentially my ability to go full-time with PapaKennMedia. And once that goes up on the website, or once that goes up on the Patreon page, you'll know what that is marked at. And it is a relatively high amount, which on one hand, part of me feels guilty even putting the idea of putting that online, but I'm doing it because I want to show you all. I want to show any potential people, any potential patrons, how serious I am about this. That if we're able to reach a certain amount, that through Patreon alone I'm getting in a certain amount of money, that I would be willing and able financially to make PapaKennMedia my full-time job. And again, I'm telling you right now, I'm 100% serious about that, and I hope that when this does go up, you'll have an idea of, or that amount will give you an idea of how serious I am. All right, so moving on from there. Okay, as far as the business goes, nothing else major. I do have marked down some different conventions, some different expos that I'm hoping to go to in 2016, or even not in 2016, look at going to in the future. And again, having a bigger budget will definitely allow for some of this. And the budget is something I'm working on as it is right now. But some of those include Console Room, a Doctor Who convention that I attended here in Minnesota earlier in 2015. I would definitely like to attend that again in 2016. There is a Comic-Con here in Minnesota. I think it's in the Minneapolis area. I could be wrong. But I didn't attend this past year. Hopefully I'll be able to attend when it comes around this coming year in 2016. And then there's a few others outside of Minnesota. C2E2 that a friend of me and a friend of mine have gone to for a few years, except for this past year. The Portland Retro Game Expo, the Seattle Retro Game Expo, MegaCon. I can't remember where that one actually is, but it seemed interesting, so I might like to go there. Even some international ones. I know friends of mine over in the UK, they attend this one called Summer in the City, or SITC. I don't foresee that one probably being feasible for 2016, but maybe someday in the future. And then, oh, and then also there are, it's not a convention per se, but events known as Games Done Quick, which there are Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick, and possibly a few others here or there. But the Summer Games Done Quick in 2015 occurred in Minneapolis. So if that happens again, I would like to attend it, maybe potentially interview some of the speedrunners, meet some of them, and just get an idea of what it is they do, and get to meet them, and possibly make some interview videos out of that, or even just interview articles. Now, for the most part, that's all I have to tell you all right now. I am very sorry this video has gone on as long as it is, but again, I wanted to give you a high-level idea. I'm sure I probably rambled some, but a high-level idea of what's going to happen with PapaKennMedia going forward. Again, I can't give you all the details because a lot of it is still being worked out. I might have given you a few more details than was really necessary, but again, I just want to be transparent with you all. I want to be honest with you all, and I want it to be something that I know I'm excited for. I'm also kind of terrified for just the idea of, well, excited / terrified of the idea of actually making my own business, a small business as it is. It's something that I really hope will work out. It's something that I want to be able to utilize to make a positive impression in this world. I feel like I'm able to do that with the videos already, because I know that a lot of you all have a positive effect on me with the words you leave and the things you say. And I know from several people that have told me that I have a positive impact on them as well, and that's just that. It makes me very happy to hear that. And I want to be able to do that on a larger scale. I know that, you know, as one person you can't save the world. So I'm not going to try to save the world. I'm going to do my best to entertain and be there for as many people as I can. If potentially the channel grows rather large and, you know, I'm not able to have as much of a one-on-one interaction with a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of new friends that I've made since making this channel as it's grown, I might lose the ability to have that one-on-one conversation with a lot of people, but I want to do it as much as I can. I want to be there for people as much as I can. I want to contribute to charities that I feel will help people out. I want to potentially make a charity or charities that can help people out in the future. I have so many big dreams for PapaKennMedia. And as much as I would love for them to actually happen, I'm realistic about it. I know that, you know, I know that PapaKennMedia may never become a big business. I know it will likely never reach the point where I can make this a full-time job. But no matter what it is, whatever stage it's at, I'm going to take it as it is, and I want it to be a force for good. I want it to be something. I want it to be a channel, a website, media in general that people can come to, have honest discussions, and feel like they're being heard. That they feel like the people they're communicating with can be trusted. Myself, the contributors to the website. Obviously, I can't say as much for other commenters because this is the internet, after all. But I want to do my best to make a community that is positive, that is progressive, that is a good place for as many people as possible. So once again, I apologize for this video going on as long as it has, but I hope this has given you some good information as to what I'm hoping to do with PapaKennMedia in 2016. If you have any questions, please do leave them down below. And in case you haven't already, the giveaway for art and a few other things has been extended again through the end of 2015. I will link to that video down below that will give you the information you need. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Everyone, I hope you have, if you celebrate it, have a very Merry Christmas. Otherwise, I hope you have happy holidays. Happy any holiday you may celebrate. But otherwise, I will see you all when I see you, and this is getting awkward now. So until next time, everyone, I'm Papa Ken. Later.